Hey guys, it's Hannah. So today's video is going to be my contouring and highlighting routine for fair skin. I'm going to start self-tanning soon, so I really wanted to get this video up because I've been pale for so long and I kind of got my personal likings for contouring and highlighting with fair skin down to where I feel comfortable wearing it out. I know it's really hard for fair-skinned people like myself to contour, highlight, and bronze without looking muddy or gray or just flat out ridiculous. So I think it looks pretty natural. I mean, obviously not like super natural to the point where it looks like you did nothing to your face, but I think it slims out my face a little bit and gives it a little bit more dimension without making it look gross and cakey and muddy like I have had it before. I figured out what products work best for me. So these are just some of the products that I use. I will be doing more videos like this. This is the first one in my new series called All About That Base. I know it's really corny, but you know, like All About That Base, like the song is like base, like BASS, and then mine is all about the base, like base products, like the base of foundation of your makeup. So this is the first one in that series. I'm going to hashtag it All About That Base with a BASE at the end so that you guys can know which videos are going to be part of this series. So give this video a thumbs up if you are liking it so far, and let's just jump right into the highlighting and contouring. Alright guys, so I like to start off with my cream contour, which lately I've been using this NYX Wonder Stick, and it has like a highlighting side and a contour side, and this is in the shade Light Medium. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It gets really messy really fast, so I don't know. And then mine broke, so the bronzer side comes out, so I have to be really careful about that. I don't know if all the products are that sensitive, but my particular batch was, so you'll have to just bear with the fact that it looks kind of crumbly. So what I like to do after I do my foundation, and then I've done the top part of my eyeshadow but not the bottom part obviously, I take the contour side and I start right here at my ear. I mean, I know most of you probably know how to contour, but just in case you don't, I start here and I go like, I can feel my cheekbone ends right here. So that's where I'm going to start putting the product. And I put mine about that far down because I'm going to, it fell out. Anyway, I put mine about that far down, sometimes a little bit further. And then I really like to pack it on because once this blends out, it's really, I don't know, it's really sheer because it's like a nice gel almost consistency. So I do something like that on both sides. Alright, so once I have that part done, then I like to take the highlighting shade and go right underneath it like this. I know it looks crazy, but it will blend, I promise you. Alright, so that's step one. Then I go back in and I go right along the side of my nose, and then on the biggest, like the little ball part right here is where I focus the product, because that's the part I want slimmed. And then I go right here where it starts to protrude out, like so. Really attractive, I know, like how could anyone resist me right now? Anyway, and then I like to take a little bit on my forehead, just a little tiny bit. Usually my bronzer will do the trick up there, but I like to do a little bit. So I do that, and then I go right under my lip, and then I go back in with the highlighting shade. Make sure there's no product on it, and go right down the center of my nose, and then do the usual little flex up there, right here, and right here. So that is what it is looking like. I will be right back. I'm going to go dampen my beauty blender. Alright guys, so got my beauty blender. What I like to do first is take the side of it and just pat. So I'm not like rubbing or dragging or anything. I'm just literally patting. I find that this is the easiest way to blend the two colors together without smearing them. And then I kind of drag down a little bit as I'm patting. And then after I do that part, I take the big ball and I go down and do that and come up here and do it like that. So it just leaves a nice soft contour. Nothing, I don't like anything really dramatic with the cream because then we're gonna go in with the powder. And since I am so fair and this is more of a fair tutorial, I don't want to do anything too dramatic. I do go and add a little bit more of the contour, you'll see in a second, but I like to make sure everything's really nicely blended because on fair skin, it's really easy to look super muddy when you're contouring. Do you see how that just kind of left like a nice light cast? And then just blend everything else in like a normal. Usually when I'm actually doing this for real, like without filming, I'll do each section at a time because sometimes I forget to blend something. Like sometimes I'll do it right here and I forget and I'm like, oh, that's not what you want. Then for my nose, this is optional, you can use the regular one, but I'm gonna use this little baby beauty blender because it just is a little more precise for me. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that contour color, just a little, just right here. I know it looks like a lot, but I really did use a nice light hand. And for this, I'm just going to do little tiny pats because I want the color to be concentrated there. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry, and next, after everything is a little bit less tacky, I'm going to take a translucent powder, preferably loose because pressed can get a little more cakey, especially since we're putting bronzers in. But I like to take a big fluffy brush and just kind of set that so none of the bronzers or powders get muddy on my skin. You don't have to do this if you have dry skin. I just have combination skin. I don't know. I like to do that. Plus this Nars translucent crystal powder is really finely milled, so it's not going to like cake up under the other powders. Alright, so after I do that comes under eye highlighting, which for fair skin, let's say, it's kind of redundant, you don't really even need to do this, but I take my Anastasia contour kit and I take the two lightest colors, the banana and the vanilla. I don't really even need to do this, I just do it because it makes me feel better about myself. Whatever. But I'm taking that on my Kat Von D shade light brush on the light side, obviously. And then I just put it all the places that I highlighted. And then I like to concentrate a lot of it right under that contour. I'm gonna go back in and do this again if needed after I do the powder contour. Alright, so next step, this may seem a little weird and not everyone does it like this, but this is how I've been liking to do it lately. I'll take the bronzer shade on a blush brush from Real Techniques and I'll just bronze right above the contour that I did. Because when I usually do my contours with just powder, I'll bronze and then contour. But since I didn't have a bronzer shade of the cream, I'll bronze like this. You see how the contour is a little bit sharper and then the bronzer kind of fades up? I think for fair skin, that really helps blend it and helps prepare the cheeks for blush so there's no harsh lines. So this side looks funky on camera, but it looks fine in person. I don't know. Anyway, so I'll just bronze up the places that I contoured, except not my nose. I think that that's fine with just a little bit of the contour on it. But yeah, so I'll just lightly dust this around. on my neck a little bit too, to kind of like balance it out so I don't have a stark white neck. I just like to loosely do this. And then I go in with my Shade Light brush again, contour shade, and just do a very light dusting of that. And just very lightly set the contour. I actually like to use this brush for that if I'm doing the cream contour first, because it's really thin and you can just get a very, like, it's just easier for me. So I do it to the side first and then I go this way. I don't know why this looks so streaky. It's really not, I promise you. Let me put a little more bronzer right there. Anyway, then I go back in with the Shade Light side with no extra product and just make sure that that line is nice and crisp. Next up comes blush. Today I'm using Sakura Blush from MAC. I just really like the purpley finish that this gives. And I'm just going to place that right on my cheeks, right above the contour. And then I like to use, when I'm really focusing on contouring, I like to use this brush, like a big duifier brush, because it really blends your blush flawlessly into your contour. I love blush. It makes me look alive. Alright, then I like to take, where is it? Oh, my powder brush that I used to put the translucent powder on and blend the blush and the contour. You really want a seamless, blended look. Alright, and the last step is my Lou-Manizer by the Balm. I'm just going to take that on a Real Techniques setting brush and just further define the cheekbone. I love this stuff, especially on the upper lip. It just really gives you a nice pouty lip. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the highlighting and contouring that I like to do for fair skin. I am going to go do my bottom lashes and my lips real quick, and then I will be right back to talk to you guys. Alright, so that concludes the tutorial. I'm going to turn off my studio light real quick so you guys can kind of see it in natural lighting. Hold on. Alright, so this is like, it's a little dark in here, but this is what it looks like kind of in the natural lighting. I really like how it turned out. The bronzing makes me look a lot less fair than I really am. I also wanted to mention that I used the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation today before I did the tutorial. So that is the base that I am wearing, and I primed with Too Faced Hangover RX. So if you guys like this style of video where I do like a series on like base products for your face, like maybe like foundation routine or foundation reviews or contour kit reviews or anything that has to do with like the foundation base of the makeup, if you guys want to see more about all about that base videos, then let me know in the down bar below, because I think it's really fun to kind of do a series where I do similar things but different products and, you know, that kind of stuff. Please leave video suggestions in the down bar below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the love and the positive comments I get from you guys. And, you know, like I said, if there's anything you want to see, just let me know, because I would love to do that for you guys. So have a great weekend. It's coming up quick, and I love you guys. Bye. It's a really, really pretty, like, warm honey type look. It's based kind of off of the look I was wearing in my huge MAC haul. I had a couple people ask